Hello friends, welcome back. We have seen till now one-dimensional arrays and how to process a one-dimensional array, how actually the memory will be allocated to one-dimensional array, okay, the representation of one-dimensional array. Now we are going to learn two-dimensional arrays, and first we are going to know how do we declare a two-dimensional array in C#. We write the data type, then we put a bracket, comma and closing bracket, then the name of an array. Let's take it is a num array, okay, is equal to new. We are going to use a keyword, then we are going to say int comma closing bracket. Now in this place we are going to write this array is a two-dimensional array. Now what is the meaning of two-dimensional? Two-dimensional means x and y, right? Like this. This is a two-dimensional, right? Whereas one-dimensional means something like this, right? One-dimensional means something like this. This is a one-dimensional array, right? Now here we have x as well as y, which is a two-dimensional array. Now we should mention how many number of rows this array is going to have, number of columns in this place. So here I am going to write 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay, this array is actually going to represent something like this: 2 rows, 2 columns. You can say this is a 0th cell, right? 0, 0, 0, 1. This one is 1, 0 and 1, 1. So this is a two-dimensional array, which this indicates x and this indicates y. Now let us take how actually the memory representation will be for this. Something like this. Let me start from the beginning. When the control comes here, it will create one memory location for the num array variable. This is our num array variable. The num array variable is going to be created and it is going to have null inside it. Okay. Then as there is a equal to sign, it moves towards the right hand side part, and here you are using a new keyword to create a new integer array of two-dimensional, which is going to have 2 rows and 2 columns. But you should read it something like this: num array is a two-dimensional array which is of type integer, is going to have 2 rows, 2 columns. In the memory it is going to be something like this. What system does? It first sees, okay, I have to create 2 cells. What system does? It creates an array of 2 cells, 2 memory locations. So it does like this. It creates an array, 2 cells. This one indicates 0th cell. This one indicates the first cell. Or you can say, as we have stored 2 rows, you can say this is the 0th row. This is 0th first row. It indicates, this cell indicates rows. And this array is going to have a beginning address. Let us take the beginning address is #10. After executing this, it will execute this part. What you are telling is you want to create a new array, new memory locations, which are 2 arrays, you can say. Each array is going to have 2 cells. Let me show that how it creates. What system does is it creates an array something like this. Okay, 2 arrays it will create something like this. Now this array is going to have a beginning address. Let us take #20 is the beginning address, and for this array the beginning address is #30. Now #20 is going to be stored in this memory location #20, and it is going to point to this array, and #30 will be stored in this memory location, and hash 30 memory location is going to point this array, and each memory location is going to be assigned by 0, 0, 0 because they are integers. And you can think this one is 0th column, this is first column. You indicate columns, these are columns. As we have equal to sign, new is going to return the beginning address of this array. Now what happens here means your num array is going to have hash 10 inside it, and it is going to point this array. This is how the computer, or this is the memory representation of two-dimensional array. For simplicity, we can write this something like this. It is a two-dimensional array which is going to have a 2 rows and 2 columns, and this one is a 0th column, first column, 0th row, first. These are initialized to 0, 0, 0, 0, and here you have the num array, and it is going to have the beginning address and points to that memory location. Something like that. This is just for simplicity, but actually behind the scene the two-dimensional array is going to be created like this. You can read this num array as it is going to have 2 rows. Num array is an array of 2 memory locations. Each memory location is again an array of 2 memory locations. You can read like this. Now let us save and check out in the system. I put a breakpoint and run and just show you. If I run the code, you can see here the num array is created, which is of integer 2 by 2, and it should have another array. This is an array. This is a first cell, 0th cell or 0th row, and the first row. Are you understanding? 0th row and first row. If you go again in the 0th row, you are having 2 cells, which is 0, 0, this memory location, then 0, 1, this memory location. If you go in the first row, then again you will be having 2 cells. First one is 1, 0, this memory location, and next one is 1, 1, this memory location. This is how the arrays are going to be created in the memory. If you want to access this memory, you have to write num array of 0, 0. If you want to access this memory location, you have to write num array of 1, 0. I hope you guys understood how the two-dimensional array will be created in the memory and how it works. This is how you are going to create a two-dimensional array. This is the way how do we declare 2D array. Now we can display, if we want, we can display the result on the screen by, let us take, we will initialize the array also. Initialize array with values. How do we do that? I create an integer array, one more array we are creating, okay, two-dimensional array, and it is going to be named as num array 2 is equal to new integer array of 2 by 2. You can mention 2 by 3, okay, 2 rows, 3 columns, it is like that, okay. Now here, if you want to initialize, you can use the flower brackets, and here what we can do is we can create something like this. Now these two flower bracket indicates that it is the first row, that is 0th row, this is the next row, that is the first row, right? Now here I can mention 1, 2, and here I can mention 2, 3. Okay, some values. we can put some values. Now you can remember that this is at present 0th row 0th column. This one is 0th row first column. This one is first row 0th column, and this one is present in the first row first column. Let us see that. Okay, let me save and just show you. Debug.log. If I have to see num array 2 of 0th row 0th column, what is the value? Okay, let us save and check out. If I run the code, I should see 1 on the screen, because you can see that we got 1. This is how you can access any cell value. Just you have to write the name of the array, bracket, and the row number and the column number. Okay, can you tell me how do you access this? You can just say num array of 2 of 1 1, then you will get 3, right? Correct or not? Even if you try to put more, of course you will get the array index bound error, because we are telling only 2 rows and 2 columns. Here you are giving one more extra column value, right? Let us save and come back. You can see an array initializer of length 2 was expected in that place, right? Only length 2 should be there. You are putting one more extra, so it won't work out. Now what we can do is, we can also initialize an array in another way. Second way, you can say, initializing in second way. I can create a 2-dimensional array, which is going to be num array 3, let us take, is equal to new integer array. Okay, then I put up brackets, flower brackets, hit enter. I say I'm creating same, but this time here I do not mention the row size and the column size. I just directly say here 1, 2. Here I say 2, 3. Okay, let us save this and check out whether we get any error or not. You can see that we don't have any error message. Let us take, I want to display this 3. What I can do is, I can say debug.log num array 3 of 1, 1, which has to give me the result on the screen 3 now. I just save it, I come back, and if I run the code, I should see the result 3 on the screen. I hope you guys are understanding how do we declare and initialize the arrays in different ways. We have another way of declaring and initializing an array. Let us take, this is a third way. I just copy from here to here. This is going to be num array 4 is equal to, I'm going to copy this from here and paste it down, but I'm going to remove. Can you see here? I have written integer array, 2-dimensional array, num array 4, and this time I'm not using new int bracket. I'm not writing that, but directly I'm using initializer. Okay, this is also same thing, writing like this. Okay, this is actually equivalent to this, but here you have a facility of writing the rows and columns. Here we don't have that facility. We can directly write like this. I can say debug.log, I can display num array 4 of 1, 0. Can you tell me what output we get here? Num array 4 of 1, 0 is what? This is the first row, 0th column, so we should get 2 on the screen. Just save it. I come back, should not get any error. And if I run the code, you can see that we got the result 2 on the screen. Okay, I hope you guys are understanding step by step how do we create a 2-dimensional array, how do we initialize them in different ways, how do we access the memory locations. Okay, let us understand few more things about the 2-dimensional arrays. Now here let us write num array 4 dot length Can you tell me what output we get for this one? What num array 4.length returns? Total number of elements in the num array 4. Correct or not? Or let us take num array. If you are writing how many number of elements are there in the num array, it will display. Now if I save and run the code, total number of elements in the num array, can you tell me how many are there here? Okay, you might be saying 1, 2, 3, 4 sir, right? We will get here 4. That is what you are having in your mind, correct or not? Let us see if I save and run what output I get. Okay, if I run the code, num array.length is going to give us 4, the total number of elements. That is good. Now num array here debug.log num array 4 dot, we have other functions which are called as getLength function, okay, which is a very useful function. GetLength gives the number of elements in the specified dimension of the array. Okay, let us give 0 over here and just save it. I will explain why I have written 0 here. Num array 4 get length of 0. I just save it and come back. I run the code. You can see that we got 2. Why we got 2 this time? The reason is 0 indicates 0th dimension or the first dimension, we can say. 0 gives total number of rows. Okay, it returns number of rows. 0 get length function with a value 0 returns total number of rows in the num array 4. If you want to get the total number of columns, then you will be writing debug.log num array 4 dot get length of 1. Get length of 1 is going to give the next dimension, that is columns. It returns total number of columns in the array. If I save and run the code, you can see that it has returned 2, that is total number of columns. These functions get length of 1, get length of 0 are very useful. You will understand. And remember that the length property is going to return total number of elements, or you can say total number of cells in the 2-dimensional array. Get length of 0 returns the total number of rows in the 2-dimensional array. Get length of 1 returns total number of columns in the array. When we want to process the 2-dimensional memory locations, you can say, or 2-dimensional world, where we want to place the images in the 2, or you want to create the levels. Okay, if you are making level design in game, then you will be using the 2-dimensional arrays, which are very useful in the 2D world. Okay, I think for this class this much is enough, guys. We'll see in the next class next steps. So thank you guys, thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial.